What's up, everyone? This is Nate, and I'm back with another Out of the Theater review. Now, it's pretty late here. It's about 1:30 a.m. I went to a double feature. The first movie started at 7:45, and I'm just now getting home. So I saw the new Lord of the Rings anime movie, and I also checked out the film I'm about to review for you here, which is Kraven the Hunter, the latest in the Spider-Man universe that doesn't have Spider-Man in it. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on the film. There will be, I'm going to let you know now. No, normally these are 100% spoiler free. I just want to be able to talk about this movie with a little bit more information. So I will say, if you want to know absolutely nothing about the movie, you can fast forward to the end, get my score. But I will not be going over like any very, very specific plot points or the ending or anything. But I will be talking about like characters that appear and some of the stuff that happens in the movie. So I will say very, very minor spoilers, maybe, but I'll remain spoiler free on main plot points. There you have it. Now, before I start, if you would, of course, please consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already, and go ahead and hit the bell icon. That way you get notified every time the videos drop. Also, leave me a thumbs up on the video. It helps me out, helps the channel out, and leave me a comment. Did you see it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Do you disagree with all the critics who are bashing it? Do you agree with them? I want to know. Okay, let me get this out the way right from the jump. This is part of the Spider-Man movies that don't have Spider-Man, which of course you have 3 Venom films. You have Morbius, you have Madam Web, and now Kraven the Hunter. I would say I would put this more in line with Madam Web and Morbius in the sense that, Venom is a trilogy. It's kind of, he's a bigger character. Like those movies made a lot of money. These, not as much. So I would put it in the camp with those 2 films. And as such, I think this is the least worst of the 3. To me, it's not good. It's not good. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of issues. But it's not as god-awful as Morbius or Madam Web, in my opinion. I know the reviews are very harsh. I could understand it. Let's start with the positives, of course. This one actually has pretty good action in it. And when you're making these movies and their scripts are not good and they're, like the dialogue's very clunky, the CGI in all of these movies are not great. At least this one has good action scenes. I cannot say the same for either of the other 2. And this one's rated R. It's bloody. It's gory. Like at one point, he bites a dude's nose like clean off his face. That was pretty cool. You get people getting like split in half and bear trapped to the head and blood. Hey, yeah, but it's mostly CGI blood. But still, at least there's some like gore and violence. There's a couple times where my theater, you could hear them go, oh, like whatever, because it was pretty violent. So at least there's that to latch onto. Also, I do think Aaron Taylor Johnson is good in the role. I like him as Kraven. It would be cool to see him in a Spider-Man movie proper. It would have, I think it would have worked. I like him. This movie has a good cast besides him. You also have Russell Crowe, of course, Ariana DeBose, 2 Academy Award winners. You have Christopher Abbott, who I like, and Alessandro Nivola, I think his name is. He's pretty good actor. I'm not saying he's good in this. I'm saying the cast, solid. And J.C. Chandor, he's the director. This guy's made some good movies. I mean, Margin Call, A Most Violent Year, All Is Lost, like very well-reviewed, well-received movies. And then this, so it was an interesting choice because he's not really an action guy, but, the action scenes are pretty good. The basic premise is okay. The problems begin with the script, super clunky. The dialogue is super, super clunky and very like basic, like, I am a good guy and I will fight them. And then the other person will be like, you will not fight me because you are not tough. Like it's very like horrible dialogue like that. I mean, I don't know if they say any of those things, but they don't. But it's terrible. So horrible dialogue, bad CGI. A lot of the CGI looks not good. This movie feels like one of those 2004 superhero movies, like pre-MCU. When they were making a bunch of just Marvel character movies. Feels like that. Also, they got to stop doing this. This movie has five Spider-Man villains in the movie. You have Kraven the Hunter. You have Calypso, who's a Spider-Man villain. Rhino. You also have the Chameleon and someone named the Foreigner, who I've never heard of. But when I looked him up, he doesn't have any powers in the comic books, but he has powers in this movie. And they never explain how he got them, what they are. He just starts counting like 1, 2, 3. And when he gets to 3, he's like teleported somewhere else and people freeze up. It's very weird. There's a lot of stuff that's not explained. How he gets his powers is really weird, but also not explained. And then they sprinkle in all those little like Spider-Man Easter eggs where it's like, I went to see a doctor in New York and he gave me this, that, and the other. It's like, well, who's the doctor? But you're never going to find out. And then they set stuff up for like sequels that you know are not going to happen. So most of the problems with this movie, CGI and the writing is really bad. The base premise is okay. The action scenes are pretty good. The cast is pretty good. As such, though, it's not good. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It's really not a great movie. I hated it the least out of Morbius, Madam Web, and this, but it's still not good. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. I will be back next week with another Out of the Theater review. So until then, take it easy.